Hi, everyone. I want everyone to take a second and to think about whether you've listened to music today. Now, I don't just mean whether you listen to your favorite playlist on the bus or to the radio in your car while driving to campus today. How many of you guys watched an episode of TV today or bought a cup of coffee in a coffee shop that had music playing quietly in the background? Music surrounds us on a daily basis to the point where we sometimes don't even realize that it's there. But why do we feel the need to constantly fill the silence in our life with music? Even though we don't always pay attention to it, music plays a huge role on our daily lives. So one really concrete example of music affecting us without us even realizing it is while watching a movie. Most people don't really pay attention to the soundtrack while immersed in a movie, but music plays a huge role in the movie watching experience, especially from an emotional standpoint. So for example, when you're watching Jaws, it's because of the music that you feel anxious and on edge. When you're watching Up, music makes you feel that tug at your heartstrings and eventual heartbreak. And when you're watching Pirates of the Caribbean, music gives you that sense of adventure and excitement. Now, music helps elicit emotions in us by mimicking the way the way we experience certain emotions. So emotions can be measured based on their valence, whether they're a positive or a negative emotion, and they can also be measured on their level of arousal. We can then manipulate properties of music in order to increase or decrease valence or arousal. So for example, when you're angry, your heart rate may start to increase, you may become aggressive, you may want to yell at people, and this can be experienced through music that is loud, fast, and has sharp attacks on notes. On the other hand, when you're sad, you may become more quiet, your heart rate may decrease, and you may lose motivation. This can be experienced through music that is slow, quiet, and has slower attacks on notes. The effects of emotion on us can also be seen through imaging techniques. So an fMRI study showed that happy music activates areas of the brain responsible for happy feelings, motivational behaviors, as well as reward behaviors. On the other hand, sad music activates areas of the brain responsible for responding to sad and fearful stimuli. Now, these sorts of studies show that not only does music have an effect on our emotions, but activating these areas of the brain can result in strong, sometimes uncontrollable physiological effects on the body. So in one study, participants were induced in a stressful state by being told that they had to prepare a presentation on a complicated subject. Now, these participants were either instructed to prepare their presentation in silence or while listening to Pachelbel's Canon in D major, which is known to be a pretty relaxing piece. Now, if you look at the results, we can see that individuals who practiced their presentations in silence showed a lot higher anxiety levels. However, if we compare that to individuals who prepared their presentations while listening to this piece of music, you can see that the students in the music condition had significantly lower anxiety levels. The same pattern can be seen in both blood pressure as well as heart rate. Now, the effects of music on both our emotions and physiology can eventually accumulate into affecting our behavior. So for example, it's late November, we're getting into the holiday season. And in case you forgot that we're getting into the holiday season, luckily any store you go into will be playing Christmas music, so you have a nice reminder. But have you noticed that at this time of the year, you kind of tend to spend more money than you intend to when you're going shopping? This may be because retailers utilize contingencies formed between the holidays and holiday music in order to induce gift-giving behaviors in customers. This has been supported by studies, for example, one that looked at how playing music in a supermarket can affect what people buy. So in this one study, researchers found that when the supermarket was playing French music, customers were a lot more likely to buy French wine. And when they played German music, customers were a lot more likely to buy German wine. Not only can music affect what we buy, though, it can also affect how quickly we consume. So in one study, researchers found that in a restaurant where music was played quickly in the background, customers ate their food a lot quicker than if slower music was playing in the background. This was seen again in a similar study that found that in bars where loud music was playing, customers were a lot more likely to drink their beers faster than if quieter music was playing. Both of these studies suggest that background music can affect arousal in customers and result in them having behaviors such as eating or drinking their food and drink faster than they normally would. Now, music clearly has an effect on our daily lives. It affects our emotions, it affects our physiology, and it affects our behavior. But based on these studies I just showed you, you're probably thinking like, wow, other people can really utilize music in order to manipulate my behavior. That's correct. If we chose, like music plays such a huge role and such an important role in our everyday lives, we would be putting ourselves at a serious disadvantage if we chose not to listen to it. So if, for example, if you're super stressed, you can listen to relaxing music in order to calm down. If you're going for a run and want to push yourself a little more, you can play fast-paced music in order to reach your full potential. And if you're looking to immerse yourself in a full entertainment experience, the soundtrack of a movie or TV show can really add a whole nother dimension of intensity and emotion to what you're watching. Just like how the soundtrack of a movie or TV show adds so much to the plot of that movie or TV show, music really adds so much to our daily lives. So, the next time you're in a coffee shop or you're watching Netflix or you're holiday shopping, take a second to listen to the soundtrack of your own life. It may be Grammy worthy. Thank you.